overtime?
Yeah,
It's gonna be.
Just a reminder to turn your cell phones to vibrate off of you. If you got the game on, turn it down. And we'll start with an opening statement from Coach.
First of all, like always, appreciate everybody coming out and covering Penn State football and covering our guys. And we do appreciate you guys taking the time with us. We do appreciate it. I think the first thing that kind of comes out is something in the games that we have been successful. It's a similar storyline. We dominated what we call all the critical statistics. So drive start battle, we won. The turnover battle, we won. The penalty battle, we won. And the explosive play battle, we won. So I think that to me is the overall storyline of the game. That's a team that Northwestern is playing in the Big Ten championship game. We watched on tape. They play everybody tough. Thought that they've been playing really, really good on defense. Some guys that jumped out to us today. Micah Parsons continues to do some good things for us. Blake Gillikin's 67-yard punt, which was huge for us, and then had a 70-yard one. John Reed with his 5th career interception. Trace, obviously the most important stat that you have is all-time leader in terms of wins, which is the most important stat you can have at the quarterback position. And then obviously 100 career touchdowns responsibles, 3rd player in Big Ten history. Pretty impressive. Garrett Taylor continues to produce as a first-year starter. And then Robert Windsor's really putting together a nice second half of the season. I thought the 2-minute drive before the end of the half, something I'm really proud of. You guys know we spent a lot of time talking and working on situational football. I thought that was excellent. I thought the 4-minute drive at the end of the game was pretty impressive. 6:57. We did a great job of working the clock and running the ball and mixing those things in there. Obviously, you don't want to fumble it. We got to get that cleaned up, but I thought the way we were able to run the ball and eat the clock up, that was a positive, something that we've worked really hard at. Think back kind of from a historical perspective. The 1988 Rutgers team, Penn State, was 14th in the country at that time and lost. So, we talk all the time about respecting every opponent we faced, fearing none. We're fortunate to get a win and continue to head in the right direction. So we'll enjoy this for a couple hours. We got to get back to State College, enjoy this for a couple hours, and then it's going to be a pretty significant week next week. This senior class has got a chance to really do some great things and end the season on a positive note. You think about this senior class, these guys and what they've meant to Penn State. In our history, in our resurrection in some ways. I hope the stadium is sold out next week. Obviously, everybody's watching the game on TV right now. We got a really good another Big Ten opponent coming into our place. But I think more than anything, Trace McSorley, Amani Aruwe, all these seniors, they deserve that stadium to be sold out, and they deserve to be sent out the right way. And I know it's going to be an emotional day for me. I want everybody to enjoy this win and all those types of things. But I am personally asking all of the Penn State lettermen to get back to State College, because I think we all owe these seniors a world of gratitude. I hope the fans, I hope the community, I hope everybody comes and shows respect to these guys, because I think we all can agree they have meant the world to us. So I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but it's going to be a very, very emotional day for me and the coaching staff. But we got to make sure we play well against a good opponent coming into our house. So open up the questions.
James, how would you describe the performance of the offense in general and the running game in particular?
Yeah, I thought the running game. I don't have the stats. Here they are in front of me, I guess. I thought the running game, we did some good things. I think we're still a little off in the passing game. We got to get that cleaned up. I think we're going to probably do some emphasize some 7-on-7 and some other things. Pressure sometimes, missed throws sometimes. We just are a little bit off in the passing game, and that's really kind of been a little bit of a storyline this year. So we got to get that fixed for this week, and we got to get that fixed for moving forward. But I thought we were able to run the ball and do some really good things. Miles battled and fought like crazy for the yards that he was able to get. Trace was able to do some things in there as well. It was nice to be able to get Ricky Slade, some work as well as thank you very much, Journey Brown. I'm getting old. It was good to get those guys on the field as well. But yeah, we're just a little bit off. But that defense, we'd seen it on tape. They played everybody tough. We knew that was going to be a situation. We felt like we had some opportunities with our defense against their offense, and we were able to do that. So we got to get better in the passing game. And I actually think the better we get in the passing game, will actually open up the runs for us a little bit more too.
You just said that next week will be emotional, and it certainly will. Other games this year have certainly been emotional. This wasn't. And do you do anything during the week, knowing it could be an emotional valley week, to try to address that, or you just let it go the way it goes?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be emotional the week of. I think it'll be emotional for me when those seniors come running
I'm talking
out.
about today. What did you do earlier this week, knowing that this wouldn't be an emotional game? And it wasn't. They were flat in the first half. Not a very emotional performance, I would say. I don't know what you would say. Go ahead.
I love your questions.
Yeah.
Statements? Are they statements or are they questions?
Well,
I'm not sure.
You tell me if I'm wrong. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know if I necessarily saw it that way. When we watched these guys on tape, we had a lot of respect for them on tape. We had a lot of respect for on tape and how they played and how hard they played. We didn't feel like we were going to come in and this was going to be an easy game for us. We thought it was going to be a battle. Like I said, Northwestern, who's playing in the Big Ten championship game, I think it was 14-18. So we saw these guys trending in the right direction, playing hard. Especially in first half of games and things like that. We had a similar situation a couple years ago. We came, first half was the same way. So I didn't really feel that. I didn't feel that what you described. I thought you were talking about next week, in our seniors in that situation.
No, I'm just saying that there are emotional games during the course of the season, and this is not going to be one, let's face it. And did you try to address emotion at all, or do you just coach the opponent every week?
Yes,
knowing
sir.
That's the truth then? That's the way you do it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We
James,
just
you're-
coached what we see on tape and the opponent.
All right.
Your defense the last couple weeks, and particularly that goal line stand, even though they missed the trick play, how much did that swing some momentum to you guys?
Yeah, I think our defense is playing really good the last couple weeks. I thought we played fantastic today. I thought we had a chance, with them. We knew it was about the running game with them. We had not seen on tape yet that they could beat you with their passing game, with their quarterbacks and receivers and tight ends. It was about really Pacheco and Blackshear. We've been pretty good at defending teams that maybe are one-dimensional in some ways. So I think our defense is playing really well. Our defensive line is playing at a high level right now. I actually think if we didn't have some of those, although we did a great job from a penalty standpoint, we had some penalties that hurt us from a discipline standpoint. I think we made it a little bit harder than it needed to be. We made it a little bit harder than it needed to be.
James, can you explain the decision to start Micah instead of Kent Brown? And then at halftime, do you worry about messing with a good thing as well as your defense was playing to bring Kent back?
No, we had a situation. We had a small violation of team rules, so that's why we did that.
James, a 19-yard and 22-yard field goal in the first half. Frustrated a little bit with the offense's inability to kind of finish there early, having to settle for those field goals.
Well, I think overall, again, is how I try to look at things. Overall, I think we're one of the most efficient red zone teams in the country in both overall scores and to a degree in touchdowns. So yeah, obviously you want to finish. There's no doubt about it. You want to finish those types of drives. That is critical. But I think, again, I'm trying to look at the big picture, and overall, we've been pretty good this year in red zone. I think even today, we were 4 or 6. We've been even better than that. But you're right. We got to score touchdowns. But I do think the experience that our field goal kicker is getting is valuable too.
James, is the passing game something you think you can get right at this point in the season?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. With the experience that we got at the quarterback position and with some of the young players now that are starting to come on for us, and then hopefully be able to get some of those veteran guys back as well. It'd be great to be able to get Jawan back, who's close. So yeah, I think so. Yeah, obviously it's something that's kind of hampered us all season long. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But it's early in the season it was drops, and I think we're getting a little bit better in that area. So yeah, I think between this week and then moving forward, yes, I do.
James, when did Micah find out he would be getting the start? What was his reaction, and what do you think about his performance today?
Yeah, it was good. He's been playing, a bunch of reps anyway, so it wasn't really dramatic. But it was basically Friday morning. We had a little bit of an issue and made the adjustment there. So those guys probably found out, Friday late afternoon. That would be one of the changes that we would make.
James, you and Sean Spencer have talked about Kevin Gibbons playing very well. Is there anything you can pinpoint the last few weeks that he's done, or specifically for him to turn the corner a little bit?
Yeah, I wouldn't say turn the corner. He's just doing his job. It probably isn't flashy, on the stat sheet, but a lot of the things that he's doing is allowing our linebackers to make the plays that they're making. It's allowing Windsor to get into some one-on-one situations. It's allowing our defensive ends to get into some one-on-one situations. So I think he warrants a lot of respect from what people see on tape. And then I think the other thing is, like I said, just doing a great job of really being disciplined and holding his gap, which, again, isn't always flashy, but it is critical to our success on the defensive side of the ball.
Anything else for Coach?
James, how impressive has, you talked about Pat Fireman before, not knowing it's not too big of a but, two kind of different touchdowns today. The second one on the wheel route, he just kind of find that soft spot in the zone, and the first one, he had to have the patience to wait for the play action to work out. I guess, what can you say about his play, how he's developed over the last few weeks, and now he's leading the team in touchdowns?
Yeah, he is big, he is strong, he is physical. He's got great body control. He can contort his body in different positions and come down with the ball. He's done some really nice things all season long. He's got a lot of confidence. Not only in what he does in the run game, but in what he does in the pass game. He's also a quick learner. He's able to pick things up and play with confidence and play fast. So I think the year he's put together has been really impressive.
James, what can putting Ricky Slade on the field with Miles Sanders, what do you hope that it can do for you?
Well, it's just another change up of personnel groups. So we got 12 personnel now we play. We got 11 personnel we play. And then you got the either 20 or 21 personnel package that we use today, the 21 personnel package. It creates different issues. So instead of going 11 personnel and now having that receiver split out, you're able to get similar speed but from the backfield, and it forces the defense to have to worry about a different package of plays. You can run a split zone from that. You can run a split zone read from that. You can do some things in the passing game with that as well. So it's just another wrinkle. We're really running the same plays, but with a different personnel group. And then I think what you saw too is with the production of our tight end, especially Freiermuth, that's why we went 21 personnel with 2 backs and 1 tight end still on the field. And we really did it from a 20 personnel set where we're usually 3 wides and 2 backs. So part of that is what our tight ends have been able to do. The other thing I would say, a lot of our run game, or a good portion of our run game, is the perimeter run game stuff. So it allows us to get a bigger body in the slot, blocking that field backer and things like that. So that's helpful too.
Last question.
James, do you expect Pat Fireman to be this valuable to the passing game at this point of the year?
Yeah, I think it's hard to say that a true freshman that you ever expect this from. And let me say this too. I mean, we got a lot of confidence in Bowers and Dalton and Holland as well. That's a really good group. But he's playing at a very, very high level. And I think that also kind of speaks to it, is it's not like he came in here and we had a hole, in the roster and we're forced to kind of play him into action. He's earned it. He's earned it the hard way. Come in and compete with guys that are already there and experienced guys that have played some ball for us. So I think that makes it even more impressive because like I already mentioned, our staff feels very strongly about those other tight ends as well. So it's a good group.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
We're gonna do
Appreciate you.
players down on the field.
What you got?
Ohio State scored, and Maryland is getting the ball. They scored a touchdown.
So that's 8 score?
Yeah, it's 52-45.
Maryland's going